Hi, everyone. In today's exclusive live chat, Sarah Morgan Walker, who is known for her work in fintech as well as the beauty industry, shares what it truly takes to stand out in a modern pageant, the key qualities she looks for in contestants, and how pageantry continues to evolve in today's world. She will be judging Miss 21st Century on the 30th of May, having come up having come top 30 in Mrs. South Africa last year. She knows what it takes to get on top on that ramp and show up to make a lasting impact. How are you, Sarah?
I'm very well, thank you. And you?
I'm awesome, and I'm always happy to have you on. And thanks so much for your time once again.
Only a pleasure.
Awesome. Sarah, once again, congratulations on being selected as an adjudicator. What does this role mean to you, especially having been part of the pageant journey yourself?
Thank you, first of all. I get very excited. I've done it once before for the same pageant. I get excited because I feel that some pageants have judges that can get influenced by maybe the wrong things. And I'm here to be one of those judges that don't get influenced by anyone or anything. I want the right thing to happen. I want the right results to come out of the pageants that I judge. And yeah, I don't want to talk too much about what I'm going to speak about today, but it means a lot to me, and it's a huge honor, especially because of the hearts of the girls that enter this specific pageant. And I'm alongside a friend tomorrow, Abby, who's the
Mhm.
current Miss Amshlanga. So yeah, I'm very excited, thrilled to take part, and very blessed.
Awesome. Uh, Sarah, if you don't mind me asking, you had mentioned about the wrong things. Do you mind if I can get a little info on that?
Sorry, what was the question?
Oh, no, my question was that you had mentioned in your answer about wrong things. So do you mind if I get a little info on that?
The Miss Amshlanga.
Oh, no, you had mentioned in your answer about something about wrong things. So I was kind of curious, what were you referring to when you had mentioned in your answer wrong things? I think you were probably referring to not looking for the wrong things, which the certain
Oh,
judges
oh,
may.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, you love putting me on the spot, don't you? Um,
Oh, sorry.
I don't want to say specifically, but
Okay.
I think anywhere where I actually encourage male judges
Okay.
to break up the
Hmm.
dynamics of a woman only panel. And
Hmm.
people are going to shout at me for this, but because trust me, in the fintech space and just in general, I'm a fighter for women being heard and having a place. So, yeah, on the C-suite level, there's a lack of women, and yeah, I could ramble on about that.
Okay.
But I think there should be a male presence in the panel to dilute
Hmm.
any cliques or any
Okay.
dynamics going on. And then, yeah, just any big sponsors perhaps that are sponsoring a pageant, maybe having too much sway, or even perhaps becoming one of the judges, which has actually happened.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to speak too much about it,
Of
but
course.
I
Of
will do it one step at a time.
course. From your experience, what key qualities will you be looking for in contestants competing in Miss 21st Century KZN 2026?
So from my experience, I've watched, trust me, I've watched my video, well,
Hmm.
not my video, the top 30 of
Hmm.
Mrs. South Africa last year in November, over and over and over again, trying to figure out what I did right, what I did wrong, enjoying the special moments that I did have on stage with my friends, because I think by that stage I kind of knew where I was going to come. So I was really just enjoying being on stage and being with my friends. So yeah, I think stage presence is something that you really, as a model, need to take into account. And you can't fake it, unfortunately. Stage presence, it's
Well,
either there or it's not there. You either
mm,
want to be on that ramp or you don't, and it's okay if you don't want to be on the ramp. You might be a brilliant photographic model. You might be a brilliant influencer. And by the way, influencers were mentioned on the budget speech this year. So it's not just a thing to roll your eyes at anymore.
mm,
Definitely confidence, but I want to speak into confidence. I think there's confidence, and then there's confidence with humility. I don't personally love it when a model comes out and she's almost she or he is almost arrogant, and you do get them. I have seen them, so it's just to remember to remain humble. I'm just going to have a sip of my water. There's so much that goes into being on that ramp. I think people really underestimate it.
yeah.
Another thing I look for is authenticity. And that will come through a lot in the questions that they ask on stage, but also with how the contestant engages with the audience.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be things like eye contact. Don't just look at the judges, but remember to look at them. Enjoy your moment, engage with the audience that's come so far to watch you, engage with your friends, your family. It's your time to shine. And it doesn't matter what happens at the end of the day, because to be honest, it's
Mm-hmm.
either they're going to love you or they're not. And I mean, I was speaking to someone the other day who's now got a title, and it was her seventh try at a pageant, and now she's actually got the title. Communication skills, a modern queen needs this. So she needs a level of EQ. She needs to be able to speak well, be able to pay attention to detail. This is one error I made last
Mm-hmm.
year. They asked me my question and I could have answered it better, I felt.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then your walking and your movement. I practiced so hard walking in my heels. Find the pair of heels you're going to wear on the day and practice for a good 3 months before, every day wearing those heels. Go to coaching wherever you can. And there are some coaches that don't cost a lot of money. I own a modeling agency called
Mm-hmm.
SMW Models. It's on Instagram. And I actually take the girls to a modeling coach, the best modeling coach. It's because if you don't know how to model on the ramp,
Mm,
you're not going to feel confident, and then you're not going to come across authentic.
mm,
So there are several different poses. There's several different ways to do your turns, and you need to learn all of those, because on stage at a pageant, they can all of a sudden give you the instruction, oh, do the Paris walk. And you'll be like, what's the Paris walk? And, you need to know those kind of things. Sorry, I'm trying to summarize it as much as I can. A quality I look for is substance. I don't, so my agency in particular is bespoke in that I watch a person from afar before I will approach her to ask her to be in my agency. I need to see a genuine heart and a love for animals and people.
mm,
I don't just want a pretty face and a nice body. That's not for me. So yeah, I need substance. I need authenticity. Um, and then consistency. And I think that's where some pageants get it right. They run the pageant throughout the whole year. They see you on several occasions. They see you at your best. They see you at your worst. And your true character then comes through. I think that was my last one. Yeah. So for pageants like the one I'm going to tomorrow, Miss 21st Century, Miss and Mr. I don't know if they've separated it this year. It's a one-day event, but it's a long day for these girls. So I often in the bathroom will hear little things or watch little things and interactions, and those are the moments I pay the most attention to, because that's where people's true colors come through. It's just to be your authentic self.
Awesome. How does your background in business, leadership, and empowerment influence the way you judge and evaluate contestants?
So my background has taught me to look beyond appearances and recognize potential and resilience and influence. I've grown up with a very strong, almost matriarchal background, and there's no room for I'm feeling sick today, I'm staying in bed kind of thing. And I have huge respect for my mom. So I do struggle. I battle to identify with people who don't want to, hit the lights out and go for it. My background in business and leadership, success often comes down to character, consistency, emotional intelligence, and the ability to inspire others. At my current job at Oral in fintech, I don't claim to be a fintech expert. I've only been there for coming on 4 months, but the people there are just the most incredible team to work with, and they keep referring to something called my energy, and it's something that I don't see, but other people around me see, and I think that speaks into my character, and I'm happy that I make other people happy. I believe those same qualities are essential in pageantry today. As someone involved in fintech, leadership, and women's empowerment initiatives, I understand the importance of professionalism, communication, and adaptability. So I have mentioned previously, I've recently launched SMW Models, which focuses on developing confident, empowered, and market-ready talent. We have several divisions, including influencers, photographic modeling, so forth. There's 10 different divisions. So I naturally look for contestants who have both star quality and the ability to grow into influential women within their communities and industries. And just a side note, I train them with vision boards. We do weekly workshops. So it's not just a normal modeling agency.
Wow. Pageantry is evolving. What do you believe defines a modern title holder in today's world?
That's evolving, right?
Yeah.
I used to get quite irritated last year when people were like, "Oh, you're in a pageant." I was like, "No." I don't think people have any clue what a pageant is anymore. I've never worked so hard in my life. So, obviously you get different types of pageants. They say once you've walked the Miss South Africa platform, in South Africa, you won't walk another platform like that. Even the Miss South Africa platform is not as, I want to use the word challenging, but it's not as challenging, but also it doesn't push you to be your very best. And it doesn't, the doors have opened up for me, and the goals I try to attain myself, I know I would never have tried to attain these kind of things in the past. I know that. So yes, some of it was painful, but I am very grateful I did it. So pageantry now, or competitions, whichever one you want to look at, whichever word you want to focus on. It requires a lot more women that are involved in businesses or have their own little business on the side, or are involved with NPOs. It requires women that have a lot more substance than perhaps in the past. I'm not saying that women in the past who have won pageants don't have substance. I'm just saying what I know now is that the woman that pageants select to enter, so the contestants are carefully selected. It's not just come join our pageant, like my modeling agency. It's not a free for all. And then someone influential, relatable, intelligent, and purpose driven. Today's queens use their platforms to create impact, inspire change, and empower others. I believe a modern title holder should have strong communication skills, emotional intelligence, authenticity, and the confidence to stand for something meaningful. Social media and public visibility have also changed the industry. So being able to connect with audiences and represent brands, which we did, I think, 20 brands last year, and brands and causes professionally is incredibly important. On Saturday, I took my 3 girls with 2 friends to a township in Sharkers Rock. But they have a lovely little centre there to entertain the kids on a Saturday rather than the kids getting up to nonsense. And, my one daughter played soccer with them for 2.5 hours. My other daughter helped feed them. My husband bride for them. My other daughter was, helping with the babies because that's what she loves. And we did take footage. You have to be careful of showing people's faces now. But, just creating that awareness around that center that could really do with some support is something I'm able to do because I've built up my social media platform through the pageant that I was part of last year. And I think pageantry, if you want to call it that, is so effective and people just don't realize it. And I just feel very blessed that I was given the opportunity to start this journey after a long life of being involved in modeling.
Awesome. Having been part of the pageant since its debut, how have you seen it grow, and what excites you most about this year's contestants?
So I've seen Miss 21st Century grow on social media, and I've seen that they've selected their judges more carefully this year, which I'm very excited about because it's elevating. I can see that they are trying to elevate the brand of Miss 21st Century. I'm also really, really excited that there's longevity in this brand because there's very few brands or very few pageants in KZN that have sustainability. All of them are in Joburg and some in Cape Town. So, I mean, you can speak to Jaya Naidu, who heads up FEDHASA, KZN. I am very passionate about KZN. That's one thing I am, and it's because I've lived here for 40 years and I've raised my 3 girls here, and my parents have raised me here. So I plug into FEDHASA, which is the hospitality and tourism industry for KZN, and I plug into KIBA, which is KZN International Business Association, and I get involved. I get my hands dirty and, clean, and I love the fact that there's this amazing pageant who have the right people involved, and I just can see it going forward. And you know what? I was saying to someone the other day, on the stage last year, those girls might come from underprivileged backgrounds, but they made us look like idiots with how they model. And it's because they bring the energy, they are real, and they love what they're doing. So I just want to close off in saying that, girls, if you're watching this, bring it tomorrow because we're excited to see you.
That's beautiful. All right, I'll get to my final question and then I will then get to one comment question if that's fine with you.
Sure.
All right. What advice would you give to contestants who want to stand out not just on stage, but also in purpose, impact, and authenticity?
I think my biggest piece of advice, and this is from my experience last year, would be not to try to be someone you're not. So not the word authentic. I don't want to use that word. It's more than that. When I was a little girl, I used to copy how my best friend spoke, and I used to dress how she dressed. And in that, I lost who I was. And I mean, over the years, you know, you can get married and have children and kind of lose yourself again.
Yeah.
And last year, it really helped me to find out who I am again and what I want again. And I've been able to start that this year. You know, my career in fintech is very important to me. My family is very important to me. So I think that's why I love doing vision boards with people, because figuring out who you are first, because not a lot of people know that, and what you want is very important. And then being that person and sticking to your own values and walking away from the gossip, walking away from the people that aren't healthy for you and sucking your energy away from you, because you don't need that kind of thing in your life. My one daughter in particular is very good at, she will turn, if a conversation is happening, even with her friends, and they start gossiping about someone, she will turn her back and walk away. There's no place for it. And you know what? That's what can actually ruin certain pageants. And we didn't have one bit of it last year, hey? The whole time. And it comes from the management and down. Management were very strict about no bitchiness and no gossip. And there was nothing. There was not one little thing that happened between anyone. And that's something I'm very proud of. So yeah, be yourself, stand up for what's right, and stick around the right people.
Awesome. Okay, I'll get to the one comment question here. Hi, Sarah. How would you go about comforting non-winners? Some contestants do take these pageants seriously and personally, and this is from Resh Chitan.
Sorry, pageants seriously and personally, and?
And I was saying this question is from Resh Chitan. Hi, Sarah. How would you go about comforting non-winners? Some contestants do take these pageants seriously and personally.
So I did hear it right. I wasn't a winner. Thank you for your question.
Okay.
I was one of those people.
Okay.
I didn't get out of my bed in December. Am I proud? No. Do I remember the people that stood by my bed and prayed for me and sent me messages? Yes, I do remember those people. I think lots of people think I was a winner because I made top 30. So you get through semi-finals phase. Well, you first will make it as a semi-finalist in Mrs. South Africa, then you make it as a finalist, and which is top 30. I wanted top 10. That's all I wanted was top 10. I didn't even want to win it. And it's a hard thing for me to talk about because I still feel like I failed. I still have stuff I need to work through to process what happened. And I didn't really get time. I had to carry on with life because I've got 3 children. So I had to put the Christmas decorations up, so I did the bare minimum in December. My family were unbelievable, but I didn't stop. So I stayed connected to the top 30 at least. I still speak to all of the people that entered, but I stayed connected to the top 30. I have some very close friends. One of them is Tatu Butulezi, and she opened a modeling firm in Joburg. I flew up for that launch because she asked me to model on the ramp. And that was the first time I got back up on a ramp after finals for Mrs. South Africa, and it scared me to death, but I did it.
Wow.
And I was so proud of myself. My husband came up for it, and I think that so going back to your question, my biggest piece of advice is allow yourself time to grieve, because it's grieving. I don't care about anyone else and what they think, and if it's, oh, you're being pathetic, whatever, it's grieving. And then get back on the ramp if it's something you really want to do.
All I got to say, thanks so much for your time, Sarah, and yeah, best of luck.
Only a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me again. I really, really love these shows.
Thank you. Take care and God bless.
You too. God bless. Bye.
Bye.